Hey, Matt here. SummerSlam 1989, and what a show. This was the biggest deal because Hulk Hogan did a movie, No Holds Barred, and the guy who played Zeus, I don't know his real name, but eventually came to WWF and teamed up with Macho Man Randy Savage. This time Hogan was the WWF champion still, and well, anyways, this guy came and teamed with Randy Savage, and oh my god, what a interesting duo they were. So it would be up to Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, who were pretty good friends. You know, and they still, I believe, are really good friends. But yeah, this was a good show as well. We start off with the dark match. Dino Bravo defeating Coco Beware. Really nothing special. So yeah. Then we get to the SummerSlam pay-per-view. Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard with Bobby Heenan. So these guys came down from WCW as a part of the Four Horsemen. Well, they weren't the Four Horsemen, obviously. They came down. They changed their names to the Brainbusters. Being with the manager, Bobby Heenan, who obviously would bring in Ric Flair in 2 years to the WWF. You know, just amazing. That I found that out later on as a fan. So it was an interesting tag team in the WWF, of course. And they defeated the Hart Foundation. So twice in a row, the Hart Foundation lost in the SummerSlam. What a shitty deal. It's too bad. But anyways, yeah. Pretty cool to see these guys in the WWF going up against these guys in, of course, it's a shame, but yeah, the Hart Foundation would eventually get their winning streak. Then we had Dusty Rhodes defeating Honky Tonk Man. And of course, this is Honky Tonk Man losing once again this year, except with no title. And Dusty Rhodes also being the guy coming in to the WWF from, I like to say, I'd be wrong anyways, but I like to say WCW. He would eventually go back to WCW anyhow. Then we get Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig versus Red Rooster, Terry Taylor. I thought this gimmick was stupid. I'm talking about Terry Taylor. I don't know what he was thinking. I honestly don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Mr. Perfect's always been a really cool wrestler, so I can't say nothing bad about that. But yeah, Terry Taylor, he'd eventually come back in the early 90s, but without that stupid gimmick. Now a 6-man tag team match. Rick Martel and the Fabulous Rougeaus versus Tito Santana and the Rockers. The Quebecers versus the Mexican and, of course, the Rockers. So this was a good match. Rick Martel's team won. And that's all I've got to say about that. Once again, this was Rockers coming in. Shawn Michaels, who obviously will become famous as a singles competitor. Marty Jannetty, of course. Also wrestled in the WWF for a couple years. And then, of course, these guys, you know, Rick Martel, who would become the model. And then Jacques Rougeau would become the Mountie. We have Raymond, who actually just came back to the WWE as a commentator for the French team, which doesn't make too much sense. because I think Quebec French is a lot different than French. But yeah, anyways, this was a good match. We have the Ultimate Warrior, who had finally defeated Rick Rude for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, WrestleMania 5 was interesting because Rick Rude beat the Ultimate Warrior for the Intercontinental Championship. Kind of sucks because this just, unless Rick Rude was already the Intercontinental, I can't remember. Needless to say that Rick Rude cheated. But this match was cool. Seeing the Ultimate Warrior beat Rick Rude was awesome. This might have been the part where Ultimate Warrior had beat Bobby Heenan and put him in a weasel suit. So, but yeah, this was a good match too. Really loved the Intercontinental Championship. Then we have another six-man tag team, which was Jim Duggan and Demolition versus Andre the Giant and the Twin Towers. I mentioned the Twin Towers in my last review. Big Boss Man and Akeem. Akeem being the stereotypical African man, I guess. One-man gang, as he was. And they were managed by Bobby Heenan and the Slick. Of course, Demolition. Oh, they didn't have a manager at this point. Anyways, Demolition and Jim Duggan won this match. Pretty cool. That's all I gotta say about that. I mean, I enjoyed. I used to watch. I used to watch Jim Duggan myself, so he was a good wrestler. You know, he still wrestles to this day, and obviously, you know, Big Boss Man stuff. Obviously, Big Boss Man's no longer with us, but I already said he was one of the best wrestlers of the 90s, I thought. So, then we have Greg Valentine, who defeated Hercules. It was cool. I mean, I already said that I didn't really care for Hercules. Greg Valentine was cool. He had that figure four. He had the hammer, obviously, you know. It was cool. Then we had Ted DiBiase with Virgil, who defeated Jimmy Snuka by count out. So, yeah. Kind of sucks when that happens, doesn't it? Then we head to the main event. Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus Macho Man Randy Savage and Zeus. And this was a good match. Like I said, more charismatic, odd take team of Savage and Zeus with the best friends, Hogan and Beefcake. And of course, Elizabeth was there by the good team. Yeah. So, this was cool. This was, well, what the hell, I haven't seen these matches in a while, so I try to figure out how it was back then, because I haven't seen him since I was a kid. I should try to watch him again, but I say it's cool because these wrestlers were cool, and I have seen him wrestle. I just don't remember having to see these matches in a while. So that's my confession. But I will bring this. I will still do this review, regardless. I know a lot more about. Like I said, in a long time ago, I started watching this back in '92. So from then on, I will know more about this. Like I said, I don't remember watching the first two. I probably did, but in any case, I do remember seeing these wrestlers. But, yeah, this was a good show. And we'll continue on.